This video is about the #1 fishing tip that I have for you. And if you've been following my channel, I mean, I've got a lot of fishing tips. We catch a lot of fish, and I've got a lot of tips. But today's tip is one that I don't see very often, but will help you land more fish. Guaranteed to land more fish.
Get this one through the ice. Oh yeah! Oh. Catfish right there.
Okay, Josh Bendoski here from BendoskiPowerFishing.com and home of the Bendoski Power Fishing subscription box, where we catch hundreds and hundreds of fish on exactly what comes in here. It changes every month, and it is what is working, and you can see our YouTubes of us absolutely slamming hundreds and hundreds, thousands of fish on the stuff that we put in this box. Now, this video is about the #1 fishing tip that I have for you. And if you've been following my channel, I mean, I've got a lot of fishing tips. We catch a lot of fish, and I've got a lot of tips. But I want to give a shout out to Steve Rogers. He has his own YouTube channel. Check him out. He's got a bass fishing channel. He lives back east somewhere where they have a lot of bass. We have some bass here, and we'll do a bass video. But we have a lot of trout and other things like that because I live in Utah, where we're up in the mountainous areas. Either way, the #1 tip, the best tip that I could ever give you, is that if you show up somewhere and you see some people absolutely slamming it, right? You see people just absolutely nailing them. The tip that I have for you is to walk over to them and being polite and friendly and say, hey, what are you guys using? It looks like you guys are slamming it over here. Do you mind, sharing with me your what's happening? What's your secret? What are you using? Because fishing, is a learning experience. And so every time you go to a new place, especially when you go to a new place that you've never been to before, you will learn what the fish want, and that will take time. So if you've got a local there, somebody who fishes that water, somebody who maybe fishes there every single day after work, they know what works in that area. And so if you walk over to them and you're polite, now not everyone will be receptive. There are people that will not tell you what they're using. They will shoo you off. They won't even want you to go anywhere near them. And that's just part of life, okay? Some people are that way. But a lot of times they will help you. They'll say, oh yeah, hey, yeah, this is what we're using, this is working for us. We've been using the whatever the jigs are that we're using. This is the color that they've been liking today. If you've got any mealworms or night crawlers or whatever happens to be working for them at the time, a lot of times they will share that information with you. And that will put you light years ahead of where you would have been is if you had to figure it out on your own. I can't tell you how many times in my lifetime that I was doing either okay or not very well, maybe skunked at the moment, and just saw somebody over there just whip, 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 and I just walked over and I said, my gosh, man, you're doing so great. Would you mind sharing with me what you're doing? Because I'm just struggling over here. And, they gave me just a little tip here, a little tip there. Oh, do you have this color? Do you have something sort of like this? And then I changed and boom, started nailing them. So the best #1 fishing tip that I have for you is to, if you can talk to a local, if you can talk to somebody, or if you can even go online onto a group, and if you see somebody posting and they're really slamming them, and you're going to this body of water, because for just a brief example here, there are some people in Idaho catching monster perch, okay? And we're gonna take a trip down to Idaho, but you can bet that as we get ready to go on the trip, I am going to be talking to as many people as I can who I've seen post big perch and asking them, hey, what were you using, and not everybody's gonna tell me. You see those people that have they have themselves with a fish and the whole background's been blurred out like so that nobody knows where they're at, which is fine. Anybody can do whatever they want. But that's the tip, okay? have the have the guts to know, or not. I don't know if guts is the right word. Just to know that you will save yourself so much time and have a much better day if you can talk to a local about how they're catching the fish. Because I will tell you what, I catch thousands of fish, okay? And you guys have seen this, and as this YouTube channel is growing, I mean, you guys see that we catch a lot of fish. But, when I walk, just for example, today, we went to a place called Pelican Bay, and this is a very good example. We went to a brand new harbor that I've never been to. My buddy Ian, he has never been to Pelican Bay before either. And we walked into Pelican Bay, and there was a couple of rows of docks. There was two kind of piers that went out, and there was no fishermen on the docks, no fishermen on the piers. But there was a little dam, not a dam thing, but it was a cement thing. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I don't think it was a water processing thing, but either way, it doesn't matter. It was something, and it was gated off. And there was 30 fishermen, every one of us, with our sticking our poles inside of a little 4-inch between these two fence posts, and just sitting here, and we were pulling fish out. But if I had shown up to Pelican Bay with and there just happened to be nobody there, it would have taken me several hours. I wouldn't have started fishing right in between these bars over by this weird dam thing. I mean, and it was a really annoying way to fish too. Plus, because if you have a chance, check out the video on the Pelican Bay video where we're fishing through two little tiny metal bars, and with another metal bar right here. So when you're hook setting, you're always whacking your pole up against this bar here, and you're banging your poles against everything. But there was literally 30 people, boom, 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 and then nowhere else. And so, I walked up to them. I said, "Hey guys, this is our first time here. I've never even seen this before." And they said, "Hey, just grab a spot, slip your pole, in there, and we're all just right here, neck and neck." And we use the jig heads that come in the Bendoski Powerfishing box, because the Bendoski Powerfishing box really does have an assortment of stuff that even if you had only this and you walked into a brand new situation, you'd probably have what you needed to catch some fish for sure, because we catch hundreds and hundreds of fish on the stuff that we put in there, and it does change every month. So you get so many different cool things that just work. But that's the tip, and I apologize for this video being a little bit long because I wanted to explain it. But in fishing, there's definitely two different mentalities. There are people that are really friendly, and they want to help you, and there's people that are not as friendly, and they want to protect their techniques and their secrets, and that's fine too. To each their own, and that's fine. They can do that. That's what they want to do. That's what they get to do. That's what it is to be free. So either way, that's the tip. Feel free. I mean, not feel free, but be willing to ask somebody if you see them slamming them, if you see them catching fish when you're not. Walk up to that person and ask them what they're using. There's a good chance, I would say an 80% chance, that they will share that information with you, and you will start catching more fish, even though you had to ask them, even though you had to muster it up, and even myself, and this is where I'm going to end the video, because this is too long already, and there's no catching fish in this video. It's just this tip, but I just can't tell you how many times in my lifetime I could have walked away with just 3 or 4 fish, but I walked away with 30 or 40 because I was willing to ask somebody that was slamming them what they were doing. And that's why we make this channel, so that so that you can go in ahead of time, know what you want. I mean, know what the techniques are. We'll share with you what we're using, what's really working well for us. We made it real easy for you to get all the gear that we use, and we just want you to catch tons and tons and tons of fish. It is so stress relieving, And of course, I'm a man in my 30s with lots of responsibilities and things like that, and fishing is such an outlet for that, and it's just a wonderful pastime, and just get out there and enjoy yourself and catch tons and tons of fish.
Get this one through the ice. Oh yeah! Oh, catfish right there.